Hello, everyone. Hi, I hope you're well. Just want to thank you for joining today for the Expert Welcome webinar. You're all very welcome. So firstly, I'll just wait for a few more people to join. I'll just give it a few more seconds. I just ask that you all keep your mics muted throughout, if that's okay, and any questions you can pop in at the end. In the event that you might not be able to hear me at any point, I would love if someone would just pop up and pop their mic on and just let me know. We had an event last week where Zoom was turning me off every now and again, so hopefully that won't happen today. So we are in Ireland here, so you're all very welcome. I know there's people joining us from all different locations. We'll just give a few minutes to make sure everybody gets in. We have, we're in Ireland here and we have a storm forecast for this afternoon, I think. So hopefully we're all good with Zoom. So in the event that I disappear, I will find a way to come back to you all. We'll hope for the best. So we're here today to do a little walkthrough of the expert course. Just welcome you all to the programme and give you an overview of all the elements that you can enjoy while you're a student on the expert programme. We'll give a walkthrough of the platform, all the resources, the membership site, all of that, so that you all know how to navigate everything that's available to you with ease. And then we're going to go through assignment 1, some of the guidelines for the first half of assignment 1, and then you can all join us again in a couple of weeks for the second half of assignment 1. So we'll just break it up in 2 halves just so that you don't have too much information to take in all at once. And we will give you a nice overview of all the different sections so that you can work towards your best grade. So firstly, would someone just mind popping in the chat there and let me know that everything's okay sound-wise just before we move forward? I would appreciate that. If someone wouldn't mind doing that. And we'll just give people a few more minutes to join. Obviously, if anyone has any individual questions, you can always come to us on the support tab and create a ticket. But otherwise, please feel free to pop some questions in the chat and I'll come back to you at the end. Anything that pops up along the way, just pop it in as you go and we can address it as you go forward. Otherwise, we're always available one-to-one. You have access to myself and my colleague Dara, who are the digital marketing instructors. You don't have a tutor as a sense, but we are here to support you individually. So if there's anything that comes up for you along the way, technical issues or any queries that you need clarity on throughout your choices in your assignment, you can come to us on an individual basis and we'll always come back to you within a couple of days and give you some advice. We won't look through your actual assignments, but we are happy to actually guide you on a better direction, or if there's any problems you're having in finding resources and things like that, we're here to support you in that sense. Otherwise, it is self-directed learning, so you are pretty much navigating the course alone. It is easy in that sense to feel a wee bit alone and feel a bit isolated, so please never do. We're always just a ticket away. We can pop in with us at any point. No question is silly. You know, just reach out and we're here to help. So that's what we're here for. So we'll just get started. Anyone that joined late there, you're very welcome. We're just going through a wee run through of the platform, your modules in your course. I'm going to share with you any live elements that you have coming up, a little look at the roadmap, some study guide resources that you have access to as well, and a little look at the sections in the assignment to give you a better insight into what's expected of you and where to find all of that information. So I'm just going to go through first the platform overall. So you'll all have logged into your DMI profile, I guess. If you haven't, I'll just give you a simple little run through on how to do that. I know everybody's at different levels of digital skills, so you may be just starting out with digital marketing, or some of you are already working in the industry. So there's all different levels of skills here. So the modules are set up in a way that you can choose your roadmap as you need. So there is recommended methods of study, but really you will plan out your study based on what you need more time on. So I'm going to just show you how to do that in the best way possible. We'll give you a little guide so you can see the best ways to move through what is available to you. So you're going to pop in here to the DMI portal. Everybody's window might look a bit different depending on if you have one course or a few courses. So for example, if you're just only going on the expert, I'll just show you where to go. So you're always going to go back to the courses tab here at the top of your window. And if you're enrolled in a couple of courses, you'll see them all here. If you're just enrolled in the expert, which is the one we're talking about today, you just click on it, go through into the hub where all your content is. So you'll pop in here and you can see a few different tabs. I'm just going to guide you through what's available in all of these. So firstly, you'll see your course information here in this area. So when you log in, you're going to see that you have a number of different stages within your course. You can flick through them here and see what kind of is involved in an overview. So immediately you're going to see areas that you're going to want to focus on more than others. What we recommend is that you start with this one here, is the research methodology modules. It's 1 hour, 30 minutes long, and it's delivered by one of our academic lecturers, Kevin Griffin. He delivers the master's program. So he gives a good overview here of good tips for research methodology, how to do better research, how to do better surveys, how to choose your assignment topics, and just a little overview of the Harvard referencing guides, things like that. All the academic side for anybody who hasn't done academic research already. This is a really valuable hour and a half that you can spend to start your course. So if you just pop on and do that, it will give you really good inspiration on what to choose to talk about within your topic. So that's a good starting point. Otherwise, you'll see there the core modules. I'm going to show you a little map what this means. So some of the content is mapped as core and other content is mapped as elective. So I'll just show you what that means so you have an idea of how to move through the modules. Here you can find course info. So if you want a little bit about the course that you're doing and a little bit about DMI, if you want to discuss it with your employer or your team or anything like that, that's all in there. Manage course, that has the ability to allow you to self-pause your course. So say if something comes up along the way and you need to pause your course yourself without contacting us to ask for an extension, we now give you the ability to pop in here and pause your learning for up to 28 days. So you can choose to do it for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So you can just self-pause your course. That will stop your learning. It will kick you out of the program pretty much for 28 days. You won't have access to the course modules and your assignment. You'll give yourself an assignment extension. So you can just do that pretty much, press the button and that's done for you. Any queries around it, pop us a support ticket at any time. Otherwise, if something did come up along the way, we don't encourage people to add on extensions, obviously, because the modules within your program sometimes can be time sensitive, as digital marketing is always progressing and we're always upgrading our content. You don't want to enroll in your course and then end up 2 years down the line with the same content. So you really want to be able to make sure that you're moving through it in the right way as fast as you can, in the sense of what we have laid out. Obviously, sometimes life gets in the way. You might need to pause for a month or two, or you might need an extension on assignments. And we like to work as flexibly as we can. So if that ever comes up, you just come to us in the support hub and, you know, let us know what's going on for you and we can give you the support that you need. But otherwise, we do try and get you to move through the course in the recommended number of months. So that's your course modules. So I'm just going to give you a little look over here of how we recommend that you go through it. So this is the roadmap for the modules pretty much. We have designed this now. This is the latest version. So we've designed this around the best way for you as students to get the most information first for assignment 1, and then to know that the next kind of group of modules are best to consume before assignment 2. So you'll see here the dark blue, these are the modules that we've mapped to assignment 1. So you can rest assured if you're moving through these modules first, you're going to have consumed all the content that you need to move through assignment 1 in the best way possible. In this order here, you can see social research, social content. Those two areas will really enhance your research, and then you can move through the different channels here. Some of you may be already strong in certain social channels, so you might not need to consume them. You're not graded on your consumption of the modules, you're only graded on your assignments. So if you're really strong, if you already worked in LinkedIn and you're really strong in that area, you're not under pressure to go do those modules. You're not going to be graded on doing them. You're just going to be graded on your assignments. And then the green is mapped to assignment 2. The light blue ones here are elective modules. So they're kind of value added. Do them as you wish. You don't have to, but they're just for adding value. They are good though. So we do recommend that people who you try do all the modules, the people who get the best results do. They're there for you, so try and do them all. The grey ones are support value added, so they're also not assessed, but they are very valuable in your career or moving forward with planning your strategy, things like that, how to work with the marketing team. There's some really good personal progression in those modules, so we do recommend to do them too. But you can either bookmark this or print it off. I'm going to show you where to get it now as well, so that you can keep it for yourself as you move through the course. But that's just an overview of a good starting point to design your study plan. So back to the course window here. We have the webinars tab. Next is a tab where you can see all the upcoming webinars. So when you click on that, as part of the expert program, the instructors will deliver value added webinars, but we'll also deliver these ones, which is a guide on each part of your assignment, and then some additional ones on how to use. We've got some coming up now on how to progress your CPD, how to use our membership site, how to do better SWOT analysis, things like that, all little elements of your assignments that we're going to go into in more detail. We also have one coming up on the EBSCO platform. So as students, you have access to a platform where you can do academic research, and the DMI have compiled a number of business and marketing databases that you have access to in there. So we're going to send you out all logins to go into that platform, and you can go in there and look at secondary research sources, academic journals and things like that. So it's a really easy way to get all your secondary research done, and also to cite and reference. It's got a really good tool in there to enable you to cite in the right way for your assignment in the Harvard referencing system. So we're going to send you all out an email with the logins to those and how to use it. We're doing a little walkthrough video. So that's just one of the areas that we'll cover. So within this tab, you're going to get access to the most recent webinar schedule. So keep checking in there. That's the link. You click on that and you go through to the full calendar of upcoming webinars. They'll be updated every month. Anyone who can't attend, they're normally at 4 p.m. So if you're living somewhere in a different time zone, then you're going to be able to do the recordings. So always the recordings and the slides will be available to you, so you can get them there in that tab. So just going back to your window here where your courses are. Your assignments tab here, that's where you're going to upload your assignments. So my dates are going to look different to yours because my courses aren't actually scheduled on the same dates as yours. So you'll have 2 assignments. One is a research assignment, which is assignment 1, and then you have your strategy assignment 2. So your dates here will be in the correct weeks, and you'll just start your submission and upload your documents. In the next webinar, we'll give you an overview how to submit and all of the cover items, all of the format and layout and structure and all of that. We'll go through all that in the next webinar. So for now, you just know that's there. You don't need to use it until your dates come, and you'll also get reminder emails to show you what dates your assignments are due on. So just keep an eye for your emails coming in for your reminders as well. Okay, so back here to the course modules, you have also a tab here for class forum. So everyone within the same VATES as yourself will have access to this class forum. So you can pop in here and discuss things with your, obviously because you're learning online, you won't be discussing much with your classmates, but this is where you can find other people, either who've done the course before or are on the same structure as you time-wise. So you can just pop in and chat to other people and discuss elements of the assignment, get some tips, just engage with each other so you don't feel so alone moving through the course. You can also go in there and search for other topics that's been discussed before. And we're going to check in there as well to remind you of things or just post things that you might find helpful. So otherwise, this is a big area here. The Learning Support Hub is somewhere you should go first. So this has got all the documents, all the guidelines, all the templates that you're going to need for your assignment. So you can see here when you pop in here down the left, you've got some info on the college, on the DMI, on the introduction or advisory council, some of the goals and objectives of the programme, and just some of the info on ourselves and what the programme's about. This tab here is a big one for you. So this is where you're going to find everything you need, templates and guidelines wise. So firstly, you'll pop in there, you come on and you can see that here there's a walkthrough video. So that walkthrough video will take you through all the elements of the learning management system. So how to navigate your course, how to download your notes, things like that. So any confusion there, just watch that little walkthrough video and that will show you how the platform works in terms of the modules and content. Down here on the left, you can see that there is a student handbook, study planner. All of your information for your assignments and guidelines is here. So we have compiled an assignment guidelines 1 and 2. So you can pop into these and see everything throughout all of the sections of your assignment, what's expected of you, the word count for each section, all of that. So refer back to them as though they're pretty much a Bible to your assignment. Everything within those guidelines need to be checked off. That's what's expected of you. You can add more detail, you can go more elaborate, but you really need to check off that you've met all of the elements in the guidelines. Again, here you can see in the support documents on the right, on the left, sorry, you'll have your cover letter, your cover sheet, any of the elements you need for supporting your assignment. Some things on extensions and also on approaching the company. You'll see here if you need to have some help with approaching a company and getting someone to work with you in terms of your assignment and all of the data that you'll need. There's some tips here in this tab, and we'll also be able to help you if you come back to us in support. Otherwise, frequently asked questions here in this tab. You've got a lot of previous people who will have had the same questions as you. So you can pop in there and look at those if need be. You'll probably find answers to your assignments in there. Anything that you need help with, just a wee bit slow of opening. 1 second now. Here we go. So you can see here there's a lot of FAQs there that's already been asked. So you can just pop on and see, here's some assignment 1 queries, assignment 2, anything about the course access. Other people may have asked them before, so you can pop in there and look at those, see if you comment to us if you've already got an answer. Hi Lindsay, I see you've just joined there. You're very welcome. The recordings will be available at the in the next day or so you can pop in and see the start that you missed. Okay, so back out. So just in the sense of where to go, that's everything about where to go, how to find all your information. There is one more thing I just want to show you in here before we move on to the details on the assignments. Some people just miss this sometimes. It's easy to pop in and start consuming the video content, but there's a lot of other elements in here as well. So for example, if I go in here to this research methodology module and I just start to consume the video, you'll see here within this window, you've got your 3 modules that's in this stage. So part 1, 2, and 3, your progress is always going to come up here on the right, and you can move through your next topic. Then down here underneath, you can see you've also got some downloadable elements. You've got your study notes, module slides, a transcript, and also a glossary of terms, which is really useful for anyone who's not already in the marketing industry or working in the area. Then they can download those terms, and it'll help you really boost up your grammar in your assignments to really use better phrases and key terms. That's a really useful element there. You can print those off and highlight some things of interest to you. Otherwise, the study notes are good because we've designed them to kind of recreate a class environment where you can do the video content and you can print off your notes and make notes as you need to and just save them for the future when you no longer have access to your course modules. So that's just where all of that is. So another area that you may find useful to you while you're a student, you might already know this, but you have access to our membership site. There's over 200,000 members in there. Some are paid, some are free. You're now on the paid access. So you get the access to the membership site as a student. So for the same duration as your course, you'll have access. Some people may have access for up to 3 years, but you have the option to renew your access after your course is finished, and that will give you access to your course content, the latest version of your course content. So if you're staying a member for 5 years, you're going to be able to pop back and get the most recent modules of your course that you did, providing that you achieve certification. So that's just a little bonus there while you're a student. So you access that here in the resources. This is really good for your assignments. There's lots of information in here as well for your assignments, really up-to-date information on lots of different areas. I'll just give you a wee quick run through. So along here at the top, you've got, there's some trending articles. You can see here there's lots of little micro lessons, which is a great one. So for somebody who needs some more information in a key area, for example, if you really want to come in and boost up your email marketing knowledge or your e-commerce knowledge, you can pop in here and do some little micro lessons. You have access to so many of these now as a student, in addition to your course content. They're delivered by industry experts and they're usually very up to date. You know, we've got content being added here every week, so you have good access to up-to-date content here to bring into your assignments. For example, you can see here there's some more info on SWOT analysis and budget and things like that, objectives, things that you're going to need for your strategy. You can go down and see all of the different areas. There's lots of content in there. You've also got some access to toolkits here. The little power label means it's paid. You have access to all of these as a student. So you can pop in here. You might want to use these for your work environment, or you might want to just use them for your assignments. You can see here you've got calendars, templates, keyword research tools, Google Ads creator templates, all of this amazing stuff in here you've access to as a student. That will really help you. Again, lots more webinars here for free. Really up-to-date content there as well, and ebooks that you could reference for your assignments. Any case studies, there's lots of case studies here, any case studies, ebooks, papers, or anything you find in here. You can also reference them in your secondary research and your assignments. So it's very handy to have all of that access there for your research. Okay, so that's an overview of the actual module and platform. In here, you can come and chat to us at any point. This support tab here, you have instant access to myself and my colleague Dara, who always get back to you as quick as possible. Any questions, just pop us a ticket. Here, you've also got a little knowledge base of all the things you might need to know. You can flip through all of those there, and all the questions again that may have been asked previously. So that's all some valuable tips there on how to navigate through the course. So we'll just go back through the slides now, and I'll start going through a little overview of how the assignment should look. Does anyone want to pop any questions on that while we're here before we move forward, or? Feel free to pop them in the chat if you do. Otherwise, we'll go back to the assignment. Okay, so you have 2 assignments in the course. Your first one is the research. So it's really about analysing your audience and your digital channels and the impact of those on your audience. So that's what the first assignment is about. Your guidelines will go through this in depth. So every single thing that's required of you, you're going to see it in the assignment guidelines, and you can really go through that in depth there. So just refer back to that as well. We're going to go through what's involved. So again, for anyone who started late, we've got 2 webinars. The first one is the first half of the assignment 1, and the second half of assignment 1 will be in a few weeks. So for now, we're going to go through a little bit about what's involved, how to choose your company, an overview of the executive summary, an overview of the research methodology section, an overview of the target audience section, and just a little overview of resources and contacts that will help you deliver your assignment. So a little roadmap of the courses, weeks that you can expect. So again, your class is set up on an email communication system that will send you out reminders for all of these. If you notice along the way that any dates might be wrong, it could be as maybe some of you are only joining us now after an extension, or you were here before and you're rejoining. Your emails might not be in sync with your new dates. If that did happen, let us know and we could fix that for you very quickly. So if you notice you're getting assignment reminders when your assignment's not due, that's the reason. So for now, we'll just assume that you're all sorted and you're all on the same dates. But if that pops up, just come to us. So week 1 to 6 is the ideal time to obtain your company to work with. Now, this isn't mandatory that you need to have it by week 6, but we do recommend that you do, because it leaves you organised from a good starting point, and otherwise things can seem confusing for you. Just bear in mind that you would like to have the same company for assignment 1 and assignment 2, because things will flow. The second assignment is a strategy assignment that follows on from assignment 1. So if you can have the same company, that's ideal. Obviously, if something pops up and you need to change, that's okay too. But just for your own ease of access to information, it's best to use the same company. So then in week 20, your first assignment will be due. Week 26, you should have your grade back. Now, we're really working to get your grades back in 4 weeks rather than 6 weeks. So hopefully we'll be at that stage when your assignments are submitted. 4 to 6 weeks maximum. You must get a grade of 50% before you can move to assignment 2. So 50% is a pass. You must get a pass, otherwise you need to do the assignment again and resubmit it before you can move to the next stage. To pass the course, you must get 50% at least in both assignments. Otherwise you could resubmit them. So after week 26, you get your grade, you can then proceed. So week 44, your assignment 2 is due. And while you're waiting on those grades, you can kind of have a little break in consuming content if you wish, or go off and use some of the membership site elements and spend your time in there. Otherwise, there's no requirements of you. You can have a little break in between. Week 44, your assignment 2 is due. And then week 50 or week 48, you'll have your assignment 2 grade back. You must have 50% to move forward to the completion of the course. So just a wee look at the overview of the grades. 50 to 59 is a pass, 60 to 69 is a merit, and 70 to 100 is a distinction. So everyone will be working towards a distinction, but 50, and if you get a pass or a merit, it's a very good grade as well. You know, it is difficult to get a distinction. It really requires a lot of extra content in your appendices. If you really want to go towards a distinction, you need to go into a lot of detail. You need to really look at adding in a lot of detail, diagrams, tables, go all out on the information. We'll show you how to do that, but the best grades are from the most detail. So we'll show you how to work towards that along the way. So what's involved in assignment 1? So it's a 5,000 word digital marketing research piece. You can go over by 500 words if you wish, you don't have to. So you have the opportunity to go up to 5,500. This piece requires you to take into account a significant piece of research about the impact of digital technologies on your company that you're working with, on their audience and the industry. and you have to then make a business case for an implementation of a digital marketing strategy for assignment 2. So assignment 1 is all about doing the research, knowing your audience, knowing the company you're working with, knowing the digital channels, knowing which is the best channels to use, and then also doing some research into how those channels have evolved and how does that impact your audience. So in simple, that's what you're doing in the first assignment. You've always got to bear in mind that this assignment is research for assignment 2. So assignment 2 is strategy. You will create a digital marketing strategy based on the research you find out in assignment 1. You don't have to press go on the strategy. You can just do it in theory. You know, the company doesn't have to actually let you implement the strategy in their business. You just create it, and you can press go on it if you wish, but you don't have to. But just bear in mind that what you're doing here is building up. So some of the things to keep in mind is think about how easy it's going to be for you to create a strategy in assignment 2 that will match your finding in assignment 1. So if you know the business needs more presence on social media, if they don't have any, if you know that you're going to have to do Google Ads for the business to grow their local SEO or to grow leads, maybe you might know that they straight away, maybe you might have in your mind that this business needs more of an Instagram presence or more video content or a better email marketing strategy. If you know this already, then bear in mind what research you're undertaking in assignment 1, because you're going to use it for your reasonings in assignment 2 strategy. So that will kind of give you a bit of forward thinking on plan it out to make it easier for you. Plan out what you're going to do to find out reasons for doing the strategy you're planning on doing in assignment 2. Hi, Pansy, you're very welcome. As you know, you can get the recording, so you can follow up on what you've missed afterwards. You're very welcome. So we'll go through now the word count. So this is just a guide. Again, bear in mind the word count will reflect how much effort you're required to give in each section. So for example, your executive summary is worth 5%. It's a very small amount, but it is a very key part of your assignment. The executive summary is an overview of what your assignment plans to do, but you're going to do it last because writing it last is easier. You can then really detail in a summary of a couple of lines. Here's what my assignment set out to do. Here's what I did. Here's what I found. Here's how I did it. So we'll give you a look at what a good executive summary is. And we will have access to sample parts of the assignment that's been graded well. So we can email these to you if you get in touch if you do need more support in certain sections. Obviously, we'll take out the sensitive company data because we won't share that. But if anyone needs an example of how the section should look, just come to us an email and we can send over some samples. Your research methodology is worth 15%, target audience is 10%. The evolution and impact of digital technologies relevant to your audiences is worth 30%, so that's quite a big section. And the digital technologies and their impact on your industry locally and globally, that's worth 20%. The future trends that will impact your target audience in your industry is 15%, and then your references and appendices is 5%. So the 5% is quite small, but again, that's a key part of your assignment, and it's somewhere where you can really get extra marks in the other sections as well by including more detailed and elaborate tables or findings or parts of your survey, kind of transcripts, things like that. So again, we'll go through that more in depth in the next webinar. And we can also give you examples of what a good references section looks like, all of that. So the first thing you really need to think about is what organization will you choose? So some of you are already working with an organization, or you already have your own businesses and you're going to use them. But you have to really look at, hi Dean, you're very welcome. You can get the recording in the next few days, so you can pop back and see what you missed. So when you think about the company that you're going to choose, some of you already have a business, some of you already might be working with a friend's business. Just bear a few things in mind. So you could use this assignment if you're not already working in the industry that you want to be working in. You could use this assignment to do some research and showcase future employers or future clients the research that you've gained and the strategy that you've built, you could really do this in essence to become an expert in your area. You might just want to do it to help a friend with their strategy, or there might be a certain industry you might have an interest in, and this might be a good way to get a foot in the door by asking them if you could use their business as an example and work with them on this in another industry that you might want to learn more about. So feel free to choose any industry or any area that you're interested in. There's just a few key requirements that does need to be met in terms of the logistics of what the business should look like. There's not many, but I'll just go through these now. So you're going to need to be able to gain some insights into their digital practices already. What do they do? A little bit about their services, to find out who their customers are, what customers they want to target. You're going to have to know some insights about their sales, their services, their revenue streams. You know, what are they selling? What is their services? What do they want to gain more of? Find out some insights about their business. What are their current practices? How does that look budget-wise, team-wise? Who's doing it? Who's involved? You're going to want to find out about their past campaigns. You know, have they done ad campaigns? Get some analytics from their past and current digital practices, so that you can make informed decisions to move forward and create a strategy for future digital strategy. So that's some of the things you need to bear in mind. Some companies are not willing to give detailed financial information, which is understandable. So if you can't get every key aspect of their finances and their budget, don't worry. As long as you can get access to their digital channels and their analytics and things like that, or somebody in the team is willing to give you that information, then that's all that you're going to need. And we can work around some of the other things that they might not be willing to provide you with. So you're going to look at your company and make sure that they have that they meet all of these points. So your company can be your employer, your own company, it can be a client, it could be a startup, charity, small business. Small versus big doesn't matter. Think about it in terms of your skill. You know, you're not going to go in and try and undertake a digital strategy for a massive global company when you don't have any digital knowledge. That might be better to choose a small company, maybe a sole trader or something that you can work one-to-one with the owner. And think about in terms of what your confidence level is when you're doing that, because you don't want to get stressed out with them expecting things from you, or you having to go through maybe a team of 100 people to get information. Think about how confident you are in delivering this assignment first. Choosing an organisation based on your goals or your interests. Like I said before, you could use this to get your foot in the door in another industry. And again, choose an organisation that you can use for both assignments, just so you have a nice flow. You can do the research and you can also go forward and build a strategy for them as well. Thanks, Pansy. I just see a question from you. I'm going to come back to you. Everyone, is the sound okay? As somebody just said that they can't hear me. I just want to make sure before I move forward, if someone could pop in the chat. Thank you, Alex. Really appreciate it. I'll come back to your questions at the end, guys. I see there's a few of them there. Thank you. Okay, so again, you can pick your company in any country and conduct your research remotely. You don't have to be in the local vicinity. So really, the sky's the limit. You can, you know, create your dream assignment here, your dream company, and someone you might love to work with. It's a good opportunity to do it. How to secure them. So obviously, if you're not confident in how to get them on board, we have a pre-made template letter that we can provide you with that you can send to the company and ask them if they'd be willing to work with you and allow you to use them as an example for your assignment. We can give that letter if need be. Just pop us a message. We can give you some tips. Otherwise, it's a good idea to look at your local enterprise boards, your local councils, business support communities, things like you know, groups, business groups on LinkedIn. If there's a certain industry that you want to work with, you could join a group on LinkedIn for engineers and pop in there and ask if anybody wants to avail of your digital marketing experience in the sense that you can create a strategy for them for your assignment. If you need any help finding someone, just come back to us and we'll help you in the best way we can. You must gain permission to use them. You can't just go and pick a business and just use them because you're going to need their data. They need to be in business, so they need to be operational. There's no requirements in a revenue sense, so you can just decide if they meet these elements. You don't need to worry about how much their revenue is or anything like that. It's big or small, it doesn't matter. They just have to be operating, and they have to have at least 2 digital channels live, so a website and a Facebook page, or a Twitter and an email list, or a YouTube and Instagram. As long as they've 2 channels, that meets the requirements, and they must be willing to give you insights into their marketing resources. So you need to know about their marketing team, their performance, their past and current practices of budgets, analytics, ads, content planning, all of that. So you're going to need to gain info for all of that for assignment 2. So one of the key things we say is choose your topic first. So some of the support tickets we get from students is around they're going to try and analyze all these digital channels, but they haven't actually decided what is the main topic they want to discuss. So anyone who's just joined, I showed you how some of the good areas to start is with the research methodology modules first, which show you how to do good research. So how to choose a topic, how to decide what you're going to research and what you're going to talk about, what outcome do you want. So think about it in the sense of your industry. What are you going to look at overall? You need to have a summary and an overview of what your assignment's about. So you can't just go in and talk about, here's the 4 types of customers, here's the digital channels we use, how the customers are impacted by these digital channels. You want to really look at it overall and try and create an interesting topic. So do you want to look at the evolution of email marketing in the veterinary space? Do you want to look at video content for education, or tie it in with your industry? Don't just keep it really vague. You need to have a topic, so choose what you want to talk about. When we show you the sample assignments, you'll be able to kind of nail down a bit more how it should look, and then you'll get inspired for your own topics. So what previous research is out there? You could pick something that's already been done and really piggyback off that for your secondary research, and then fill in the gaps. So you might find a gap, something they didn't find, another question you want to answer. Maybe look at that as a topic because it's already been done. You've got the information there and you're going to add to it and make it more interesting. Think about the scale you're proposing to work at. So is it going to be just as an individual company? Is it going to be on the total industry, on the whole industry? Is it going to be on an event or a certain time? Is it going to be after COVID, or is it going to be after a certain event that things were impacted? Things like that. Is it a global aspect? Think about the scale of the topic as well and bring that into your summary so that you can really create a post-it note on your computer and you can write down your topic. And when you're going to do your research, you can always go back to that post-it note and say, is this research meeting my topic? Am I finding what I want from this research? Yes or no? So sometimes it's easy to go down to a rabbit hole and go off on a total different tangent and go off into different areas of research that are completely irrelevant to your topic. So just make sure that you really zone in and decide on your topic first. Otherwise, you can waste time easily and things can be very vague. So choosing your topic will really help you inspire what methods of research you're going to need and what's going to help you. So firstly, your executive summary is the opening part of your assignment. And again, as I said earlier, you're going to do this last. Again, here is your research methodology is the next section. So as I said, go do those videos first. The research methodology modules within your course. There's an hour and a half worth of content by Kevin Griffin, and it will really give you tips on how to get good primary research, how to get good secondary research. So as you can see in your assignment guidelines, you're required to do 2 types of research. primary and secondary. So primary will be your surveys, your interviews, any focus groups. So for example, you could decide what your topic is, and then you're going to find out how will I get this information that I need to argue the statement that I'm making. So how will I find out what the behaviours of this demographic of clients are? How will I find out how these clients use social media? How will I find out what these people expect in terms of content from the company? You're going to design surveys to get all the information that you need to report back on it. You might also want to do an industry expert interview. So you might know some experts in the industry that would have interest in views on the topic. You could go and interview them. You could also create a focus group, maybe with a few people in your company or that you know are relevant to the company. And what's important here is that you transcribe all of these, you keep all the scripts, you keep the surveys, you keep any interviews, any emails back and forth, and you document them all and you put them in your references. And you're going to create a really strong sense of what you've done, your processes in your references, and then refer off to them from your body of your assignment. So for example, in your research methodology, you're going to say, see assignment, blah, 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 in the appendices. And then the assessor can just pop out, know where the interview is, and go find it really easily and look down through the processes and the design of the survey. Any findings is all going to be there as well. So we'll show you how to do all of that. Then the secondary research is anything you find that's been done already. So for example, books, articles, journals, reports, academic journals, any insights. You can use both academic, you can use industry expert reports, things like that. Anything you find, you have to reference it. So you know what you're talking about, but in the sense of this assignment, your opinion doesn't matter. You can't give your opinion. So take out the style of writing of I or we or you're, just never write in that sense. You're always going to reference everything. So if you want to say something in your assignment, you need to find somebody who said it and reference who said it, pretty much. Yes, Sarah, you can get the recording on the slides, no problem. So you just want to take out your opinion altogether, and if you have you're going to have things that you know already and that you want to say in the assignment, but you need to find the evidence of that through academic research or a report or a journal, and you're going to pull that info and cite it and put the references in your referencing section of your assignment. And we'll show you how to do that really nicely in the next webinar for the second half of assignment 1. So you do not need to put all your findings in your research methodology section. You're going to put in here why, how, and when, and who. Who did you interview? Why did you do it? What did you want to find? A brief summary of everything there in this section. And again, we can give you samples of a good research methodology section that was graded well by the assessors. So some tips for conducting your research. So you're going to decide, the best way to design your research is really to decide what you want to find. So there's no point in just doing random surveys and having no forethought of what do I want the outcome of this to be. So you can really put things in your survey in terms of open-ended questions or closed questions that you will know that will get the answers that you need to create the argument you want to put across in your assignment. So the topic of the assignment is to analyze the key personas in your company, your chosen company, and look at a certain number of channels that this company uses. How have they evolved over the last couple of years? And how has that evolution impacted your audience, the company, and the industry, positive and negative? So what you want to find out through your research is, how do the audience behave? What's their expectations? What's their buying journey? What channels do they prefer to use? How do they use the channels? And how has the growth of these channels and the evolution of these channels impacted them as a customer and your company as a business and the industry as a whole? So you're going to do all of that, positive and negative. This has given you the research to then go into assignment 2 and strongly create a strategy that you know that your audience needs and wants, and that you can really use to meet the objectives of the company and growing leads or growing awareness or growing their followers or whatever it might be. You're going to find out all out here in this research. So why are you doing the research? Firstly, you're doing it to identify and create the personas for the business's audience. You're doing the research to identify the technologies used by them and understand how they've evolved around them, how have they impacted them. You're doing the research to identify the technologies that have impacted the industry, both locally in your locality and on a global level also. You're also doing the research to identify the technologies that will impact your audience and the industry in the future. So you're also going to look at future trends, and we'll discuss that in the next assignment webinar for the second half. So just ask yourself, how do you want, what information do you want? How are you going to get it? And design your research to suit. We've put together some resources for you that you can use, that you can find links to. Firstly, some key points you need to meet. You know, you can go as detailed and as elaborate as you want with your research, but these are the key areas that you need to meet. So you must use at least one primary research method. So 1 to 3 is good. So you might want to do a survey, an interview, and a focus group, or you might want to do 2 surveys for different demographics. It's really up to you, as long as you meet these key basic points. We expect at least 35 responses back with 10 to 15 questions in the survey. So you can get up to 100, you can get hundreds of responses depending on how much work you want to put in, but you must get a minimum of 35. Your interviews, you must have 1 to 3 people in your interview, and your focus groups 8 to 12. For your secondary research, you can have as much as you want, so go as detailed as you wish, but you need to look into a nice variety. So, you know, look into some different types of resources, you know, case studies, journals, reports, ebooks, marketing websites, all of that. And again, in the second half of the assignment webinar, we'll show you the next day how to do good referencing and how to display all of the info you find. Here's some of the information, some of the links we recommend. You can get the slides within the recording as well and pop onto the links for some of these. These are just some recommended research resources in case anybody here has never done academic work before, just to make it easy for you, where you can find those academic sources and databases and stuff like that. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to give you all a login to the EBSCO platform. So it's an online research platform used by millions of people worldwide. It gives you access to journals and quality databases that you can go in, pop in and search your topics, find your research and save it and cite it in there. So it's a really nice platform. We're going to do a separate video on how to use that. And in the next week or 2, we'll send you all logins for that. Again, case studies, you're going to need some case studies for the second half of your assignment 1. And you can get those in our membership site. You can get them on LinkedIn, Facebook, business pages. They've got some really good case studies. Or you can look within your industry trend reports and things like that. And there's also some links there that we recommend you can use as well. Again, here's some examples of links that you can use for case studies. You can just click through to these from the slides. Some reputable marketing platforms that give good insights that some of you might not be familiar with, but also there's loads more. Another good place that you could go for your research would be to join groups that's relevant to your industry. So if you work in the dental industry, you might want to pop into LinkedIn or Facebook groups and join some relevant dental industry groups, dental council groups, things like that, that you could find industry experts where you could interview them, or you could ask them to do your surveys. Some people find it hard to get responses for really specific industries. So I always find that groups are a good way to access those people directly all in one place. Again, if you have any problems getting people to fill out your surveys, you have access to that Classroom Forum, that network with over 200,000 members online. So you can pop your surveys into the Community Hub, Community Forum within your course platform. And you've got so many different industries, experts, marketing professionals that's in there in that platform. And they'd probably be willing to fill out your assignment. surveys if you think it's relevant. You know, if marketing professionals was your target audience, or if business owners was your target audience, then you could pop in there and put your surveys in there. It would help you get more responses. Again, within your membership platform, I went through that earlier. Anyone who just joined can see it in the recording. You have full access to all of these types of info here. As you are a paid student, you also get paid access to our membership platform. And within that, you get access to all these great resources. So you have sprints. Some of you might see the sprint courses are within your course profile. You get access to some of those for free, which helps you to really focus in on certain areas of interest. Your toolkits, ebooks, articles and case studies, there's loads of them in the membership platform. White papers, podcasts, really up-to-date podcasts that you can reference in your secondary research as well, and webinars. So you can pop in there and do all of those and get all of those for free. So moving on from research, the next section is your target audience. So this is quite a big section. So this is one of the main reasons for doing this research, is to know your target audience. So this is 10% of the marks, but it does form quite a large basis of your research, because you're going to take this knowledge into assignment 2 as well. So bear that in mind, that the audiences you're focusing in on now, that you're going to want to focus in on them in your strategy as well, because you're going to know what they want, what they need, what to buy, what messaging they want, what are their motivations and behaviours, and you're going to take that into assignment 2 and create a strategy to meet them. So that's why you're doing this. So your target audience will show you an example of how you should display your findings. But what you really want to know is, who are your 3 to 4 main customers of the company? So pick 3 to 4 main of the target audiences. So you might be a B2B company and you might be selling to clinics. So one of your personas might be a rep, it might be the receptionist in that company, it might be the business owner, it might be an agency, it might be you just might be B2C, so you might be describing, you might be working with, for example, clinic owners. So you might, one of your target audiences might be a beautician, one of your target audiences might be a dentist, one of your audiences might be a vet. So you just need to think about, who are the 3 to 4 main people that your business sells to or offers to, and this is who we're going to research. So you're going to look at so many elements of their personality, of their behaviours, their demographics, their location, their needs, their expectations. You're going to really research into every detail and describe who they are. So you're going to create 3 to 4 personas and detail them in depth, so that you know exactly who they are, what they want, what they expect. And then you can go into assignment 2 and create a strategy to deliver or message or sell to them. And you're going to know them really well. So you need to show how you've done this. Again, your opinion can't be given. You might know your audience so well. You need to show, if you're going to make statements about who they are, you need to either show it from your primary research, or you need to show it in your secondary research of what somebody else said about this audience or this person, or what research was done on them before. So use data to justify their characteristics. You can't just go in and say, Simon likes this, Simon expects this, Simon wants this, this is how he buys, this is the channels he uses, this is where he's based, this is his job, his digital marketing preferences. You can't just say all that yourself. You might know it, but you need to find research to show it. So which is going to be easy as you go along. It might seem really hard to get all this now, but it is really easy to do as you go along. So for example, there's persona builders in our membership platform. So you just pop in the membership platform and you Google persona builder. There's a really good one there in the membership platform. See, have I linked to it here? No, but we will send you the link if you need it. Otherwise, just go in and Google it in the membership platform. You can also do them in Canva. There's some really good templates in Canva for persona builders, and it's got the key fields that you need to fill out. I'm just going to show you an example of one that was well graded here. Just move this out of the way. So there is a template here of somebody who did it well. Let me just get it for you. So we've extracted out the data of this, and obviously we can email you these at any point. But for now, here is an example. So you're going to have first provide an overview of who your target audience that you've described is, and then you're going to go a bit in depth into the objectives. And here is an example of somebody who laid it out in a table really well, that were graded really well by the assessor. So you can just go in and lay it out like this. So for example, what is the sector? What, who you've got your 4 different types of personas here, just to go through this for anyone who's not familiar with doing it before. This person has shown a really in-depth amount of knowledge about who these people are, these 4 different types of people. So what sector they're in, what client type they are, what is their company, where are they based, what age are they, what's their background, what's their job details, what's their main sources for consuming information, their online behaviours, their preferences, their goals, their actions, any challenges or pain points, and the benefit of resolving their issues. Then they've also gone on to create a persona in order of importance. So they've got 4 personas here. So their first persona is an architect. Create a persona for Richard the architect and write about who he is based on the research. Persona 2, persona 3 and 4. So you can see there a really nice detailed version of their personas and how they came about the information and just how they laid it out. So that's just an example of what you need to do for 3 to 4 of your audiences. Otherwise, we can send you examples in the support tickets. So come to us on an individual basis if you need more help. So that's that. Where to find the information. So you might be overwhelmed thinking, how am I going to get all this information about these people? I know this is who we sell to, but I don't know who they are. So here's some details. Again, you can have these slides with the recording. So for example, you might need information on their on the type of gender, the gender audience of your audiences. Where you're going to find information on mums or dads who like gardening, or dads who like mechanics, or you think about who the person is and where you're going to find information on them. So here's a list of sites that you can go to. So for example, social media insights. You can do some secondary research and digital marketing reports that are already done for those demographics in your specific industry. You can look at kind of online behavior reports, interest reports, preference for channels. So you're going to find all of those within digital marketing reports and secondary research. So again, if you've got any problems, just come back to us. So that's it for now. Going back to the first start of the assignment, we're going to just remind you that this is only the first half of what's involved. So here we see all of the key sections of the assignment. So today we've gone through executive summary, research methodology, and the audiences. That's it. The next webinar we're going to deliver is in a few weeks, and that's going to go through how to research the evolution and impact of the channels relevant to your audiences. So first, you can really get started on researching your audiences, knowing who your audiences are and creating those personas. And then you're going to move into the next stage, which is finding out about what channels they use, what channels are relevant to the company you use, how have they evolved in the previous years, and how is that evolution and growth affecting your audience? So for example, how is the evolution of educational video content affecting your audience's expectations? So maybe you're a vet and you want to, your clients are coming in with an expectation that you should be communicating more to them through video about the technologies you use or the medications you use. And maybe a competitor is really doing that well on YouTube or Facebook Lives, or but you're not. So you really need to look into how is the growth of the specific technologies affected your client. And then in turn, how have they affected how they buy? How have they affected how they consume your services? how have they affected you as a company? So is your team more under pressure now to deliver up-to-date, innovative content? Are you more under pressure to have a presence on Facebook because your audiences are expecting you to be there? Are you more under pressure as a company to have live chat on your website because the evolution of live interactive platforms have created more always-on approach to your clients' behavior? How has the growth of LinkedIn affected you as a B2B marketer? You really need to be on there and creating a face-to-camera educational type of content where you're communicating your services really clearly on LinkedIn. If your competitors doing it and you're not, then you're under pressure to do so. So how has it impacted your industry? Think about how the growth of short form video has impacted your industry. So maybe it gives you more of a platform to quickly and easily communicate to a wider audience. It means that you can now put out content and video that's doesn't need to be polished. You don't need to have a videographer come in and do really polished, perfect videos. You now have the option to use short form content to communicate face to camera on your team or behind the scenes, to show more of the real life of your business and in a sense create more trust from your clients, create better relationship with your clients. In effect, also look into all those areas, and then you're also going to have to look at the future trends. What future trends are going to impact your industry? So for example, if you're a vet, wearable technology, all of that stuff, digital, telemedicine, think about all the areas that are common to you and discuss those and research those. And we're going to go into that in the next webinar. So for this one, you're just worrying about your executive summary, your research methodology and your target audiences. And then we're going to go in to the rest in the next webinar. So I hope that helps. Any questions, I'm happy to answer them today. And if I need to come back to you individually, that's okay also. Just let me know there in the chat if you need anything addressed now, or if you have any questions on any of the areas I've discussed just now. Just take a few minutes to give you the opportunity to pop them in. And thanks for your time today, everybody. I know it's not easy to get this time, but I hope it's helped you move through the assignments a bit better. We tend to break it down into two. So we break it down into the first section, it's less overwhelm, so that you can come back to us with specific questions for the first part if need be. If anyone has any questions about individual content, I'll just show you one more time how to find us in the Support Hub. So for anyone who joined late, you can pop in here to the Courses tab. You'll see the Support tab here at all times. You just press that and you can send us a direct message. Otherwise, I think we can finish up. I'm just going to give you a few minutes to see if anybody has any questions. I think maybe there might be someone putting questions in, but they don't seem to be coming through to me here. If you want to pop your mic on, feel free, just in case anyone does have questions. They're not coming through in the chat.
Hi there, Michelle. This is Ponce.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Hope it's going well. I just wanted to ask, can you share with us the sample assignment parts, like via email or something, or where can we find it?
Yes, for sure. I think I've been emailing you directly, Pansy. So if you want to just chat to me there, I think I've sent you a few, have I sent you a few examples yet, or?
No, you haven't. I'm trying to reach you, but every time I try to contact you, like another person replies to me, not you, Michelle.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll email you directly now when I get off then, and you can chat to me there.
yes, please, because I need the sample assignment parts as soon as I can.
No worries. So I'll go email you when I get off the meeting here, and we'll chat then, okay?
All right, perfect. And I just wanted to ask another thing. Can be the two social channels or the two channels for the company selected, can they be like Facebook and Instagram? Does this work?
Yeah, for sure. And we'll chat more about that individually, but yeah, for sure, totally. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions that would like?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, I am Prithvi Mannava.
Hello.
So you have offered me an one-to-one interview, one-to-one meeting regarding the first assignment.
Yes.
So I'm free tomorrow, like at the same time. Can we have a meeting then?
Oh yes, of course, no problem. I think we were planning one an email. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pop over and answer you back after.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For sure. You're welcome. I'll talk to you then.
Hi, it's Valerie Miller here. I've just got a question, just to clarify around the sort of like you're referring to sort of like digital technologies. Are you talking around the kind of like social kind of platforms, or are you talking about actually so like my industry and the kind of technologies as in systems and that, or you know, or is it, you know, we're just talking around the kind of the digital technology as in the social platforms?
Yeah, so we might need a bit to support you a bit more individually if you're unsure, but so you're asking, are you talking about channels or technologies? Is that right?
Yeah, because obviously, yeah, in the assignment you refer to digital technologies, and it's just probably around the terminology. It is because when you talk around it, you're mainly talking around social platforms and whether you know, kind of video content is better than I don't know, kind of email campaigns or something, I don't know. But you know, you're kind of talking in that term. And then also for me, digital technologies is around maybe around kind of, you know, the digital stuff that's going on in the industry.
Yeah, I totally agree with Valerie. I've just started with the DMI a few months now, and we're actually putting into place to change around that phrasing because it can cause confusion. Obviously some companies will have technology, so some people will be talking about apps, some people will be talking about like wearable technology for communication, things like that, but otherwise it's probably basic more channels, so you can either discuss technologies or channels. So basically you have to think about the assignment in a digital marketing sense. So this is a digital marketing assignment. So I know in the past some people have gone into discussing, you know, different types of machinery they use. No, that's
so kind of like, yeah, okay, that's fine. No, obviously, it's around sort of like digital platforms.
So what platforms do you use? So discuss the ones that your company most relevant to your company. You know, if you're just a small business and you're only using Facebook and Instagram and maybe email marketing, then they'll be your platforms. But if you're a bigger company that's using an app, or you're using a web management platform or something for communicating, maybe you're using video ads, or, you know, what is the channels that are most relevant to your company and your industry, your audience, and talk about them.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that confusion. I totally agree. I've seen how that can happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's going to be a lot more detailed than I thought.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thanks.
I can just see the chat questions now. Sorry, guys, they disappeared on me there. Anna, Isabel, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
Hello, how are you? So I see that you are wondering about the amount of hours. Yeah, so you're asking about working at your company and also doing the assignment for your So you work at a company 20 hours per week and you want to know, can you use that company? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, certainly. So there's no requirements in terms of what involvement you have with the company. You know, you can do it on a friend's business, your own business, a client's. You can definitely use that company if they're willing to let you look into their their insights on the relevant channels that you'll be discussing. So if you're going to discuss Facebook and Instagram or YouTube, you're going to want to see what they've done in there before and what they're currently doing, so that you can put a plan in place for your strategy of what you'll do in the future.
My question is more regards in time management. So if I'm working with them, if like 20 hours per week, am I able to deliver the assignments? Because how much time do I need to develop the assignments?
It depends individually. You know, obviously everyone's lives look differently. You're going to have mum life and family life, and I did this course maybe 10 years back, and I was working full time, 60 hours a week, and I managed it. But again, it's all about, how your time looks at home as well. So we can't really comment how your time should look. But if you might have missed the beginning, Anna, I did give you a run through there of the different modules that you need to consume. But I think it is easy to do that if you're working 20 hours a week. Maybe if you spend 3 to 4 hours a week, up to 10 hours a week on the assignment, if that's manageable for you. But obviously keep in touch directly, pop a support message to us if you're struggling, and we can give you some guidelines about how to manage your time a wee bit better if you need it.
Well, I'm trying to access the support, but for some reason on my platform does not appear the support part.
I'm going to pop my email here a second.
And what about Christmas? What do you suggest? Because I really need to stop 2 weeks. Sorry, my son.
Okay, don't worry. I've just popped my email in the chat. If anyone wants to email me directly after this, I can set up a support ticket for you from there.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In regards to Christmas, I really need to stop for 2 weeks. Do you suggest for me to
That's okay. You could either pause your learning as I showed you, or you can you'll still be on track, because your assignment won't be due till week 20 anyway, so you can still have a break at Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Pop me an email, Anna, and I can chat to you there.
Okay. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you very much for your help.
Good luck. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I've got in the chat. Anybody else?
Sorry, Michelle, could you share with us your email, just saying it, because I think the one you sent us, it's not visible as well in the chat.
Yeah,
just to email you that.
No problem. It's michelle.baxter@Digital Marketing Institute. So you'll be able to chat me directly, and then myself and Dara can set up a ticket if you need any more support.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Talk to you soon. Any other questions, or are we good to finish up for the evening? Let you go back to your evening. That's it. Okay, thank you, everybody. Well, you're very welcome to the programme. And as I said at the beginning, for anybody who might have missed it, you have access to myself and my colleague Dara throughout the duration of your course. Any individual queries, don't feel isolated on your own at any stage. Always come to us and tell us, I'm struggling with this, or I need more help here. Bear in mind the support can be quite busy, so sometimes it can take up to 2 to 3 days for a reply. So if it's urgent, mark it urgent, but if you do be aware that you might wait 2 to 3 days for a reply, because there's 2 of us and we're very busy with sometimes support questions where we might want to give you more time one-to-one. So a lot of the time we're on Zoom calls, so we appreciate your patience, but we always do get back to you. So we wish you the best, and we're here to help you. and good luck and enjoy. We'll see you again in a few weeks for assignment 1 part 2, and we'll guide you through the next half of the assignment there. So thank you for your time. The recording will be up tomorrow for you and the document as well. So we'll just finish up there. Thanks very much, everybody. You're welcome.